Alright, fuck it then. Fuck it. We'll watch this scary one real quick and I wouldn't.
For
Oh my
residents of
God!
Okinawa, Japan, earthquakes were nothing new, but this one was different. It carried with it a violence that none of the locals had ever felt before, and by the time the shaking had stopped, everyone in the city seemed to be left in a momentary state of shock. This was especially true for the nearly 160 Chinese workers and students that had recently moved to the area, with most having never experienced any earthquake, let alone one of this magnitude. Of these workers were a tight-knit group of 20 women who had recently been hired as trainees at a company.
Hold on! Bro, it was dead
as
ass. Bro, it was dead ass to see a fucking, like, actually ABGC, bro. I feel bad for them, man. The ABGs do not deserve that shit, bro.
They frantically ran out of the building and stood in the street, desperately trying to figure out what to do next, unaware of the fact that the real horrors were still yet to come.
Bro, and then not even that, bro. I dead ass saw like a video, right, of Japan, how like earthquakes being shit. Bro, there was one where they were at the top of like a skyscraper and shit, and the skyscraper was like going like that, bro. And they were like probably like 20 stories up. Imagine you're next to Wu during an earthquake and you hear clapping.
In Japan, it's not just the earthquakes you have to worry about, but the tsunamis that often follow. And usually, the bigger the earthquake, the bigger the wave. And given that Onagawa was right on the sea, and Sato Susan was directly on the shoreline, these women were now standing directly in the path of an impending disaster. Thankfully, their boss, Mitsudo Sato, was well aware of what was to come, and quickly he yelled to the women to seek higher ground. But given their unfamiliarity with the area, Sato knew that he would have to be the one to lead them there. The group readily listened, and they quickly followed Sato as he led them up a set of stairs on a nearby hill, where they eventually reached a shrine that overlooked Onagawa and the sea. It was the highest point in the area, and should keep them safe from what would likely be a massive influx of water. And sure enough, as they neared the top, Sato's fears were already coming true, as the sea had drastically retreated, it was now beginning to push forward. And things were only going to get worse from here.
Bro, low-key though, beating my shit to you every day, I'm muted in your Discord. Bro, why the fuck are you still muted, first off? Okay, watch it on 0 volume and 0 brightness. Let me know what's happening. I don't even know what the fuck I was going to say right now. I stopped the video for something. Forgot.
It wasn't a deterrent for Sato, as once he deemed the altitude safe enough for this group of women, he then turned around and began to walk back down the hill, towards the slowly flooding city. The girls yelled at him, asking where he was going, which is when he revealed that down below in his home in Onagawa were his wife and his daughter.
Damn, bro, imagine
this unfolding disaster.
Imagine life dead ass, like everything you know is about to be destroyed, right? You remember your badass ABG wife all the way at the bottom. Low-key, what do? Do you find another bad bitch wife? Or you like, you know what I mean? You just be like, fuck it. I mean, I'm gonna go down there and save her. Yellow guy, hands up. GG, rip my wife. I'm fleeing the country.
But he was going to save them.
Low-key.
The girl screamed.
Low-key, bro. I mean, if she one of those older ass wives and she just be nagging me and shit, bro, I'll probably already cheated on her anyway.
Out to him, begging him not to go, as things had already become incredibly dangerous. But he didn't so much as turn his head as he stepped down onto the street and disappeared from their view. And it was at this time that one of those girls standing high atop the hill began to record.
Oh my god! Holy hell, bro. God.
All my life, family has been
if the world ending, crack anything in sight. Payday to a W, Ed.
Super important to me. I love
bro, is this dead as an ad?
I realized who I know about my ancestors. And in doing so, I ended up partnering with my heritage link or scan the QR code.
W ad. No, G, not W ad, bro. That shit killed me. Bro, they had the option to skip that shit though. Preach. How the fuck you two know those ads right there? Oh, I was like, why they speaking Chinese? But they're the immigrants from China going down to Tokyo.
The footage shows that the shoreline was no more,
in Japan.
as the water had inundated the entire area, as it slowly crept its way deeper and deeper into the city streets.
Fuck.
The women were understandably in panic, trying to
bro, this shit not even that crazy for you, you know what I mean? This shit not even that crazy for you, you know what I mean? Get a little boat and you just like, you know what I mean, as the water rises, you just in your little boat rising with it. Oh, people are just dumb,
T2.
bro.
And as they record,
like,
we can hear them despeately calling out for Sato.
Real
but at no
shit.
point do we see him. We just know that he's
I can't swim
somewhere. And as the desperation in their pleas increases,
well, what are they saying now?
So too does the fear.
It's something wrong. Bro, are we dead as right now? What's wrong with you? God, he's going up fast. All right, low-key, I might be tripping. Hold on, I might be tripping a little bit. Hold on. Holy, it's going fast as shit. Oh, low-key though, surf that bitch. Know what I mean? Hold on. Imagine you surfing as the water going. Bro, all you gotta do is just have unlimited endurance. You know what I mean? Just lock in. You know what I mean? Just don't fall in because you're dead. Why you give me that weird look? My fault. I jump out like Aquaman and not save Ram. Wow. Wow.
They could only watch as Anagawa as they knew it was completely eviscerated.
Fuck.
And by this point, they realized that there was now essentially no hope for Sato. It was at this time that the women realized that despite already being at a considerable height, it still might not be enough, and so they ran even higher up the hill, desperately trying to get out of the path
By
of
the
this
end of
water.
summer, this shit went wrong? Huh? What if I develop gills and I save all the ABGs? That would be tapped in. That's low-key some shit I would do.
And as they did so, they noticed something down below.
Oh, what if it's like Godzilla or some shit crazy? Holy aura!
In the middle of this,
Holy dog! Bro, this would deadass be me. Whole bunch of aura just like, bro. Why y'all actually like really scared of this shit for real? Like chill, bro. Y'all so childish and shit. Like chill, bro. Chill.
was Mitsudo
Chill, bro.
Sato.
Chill. Like that would deadass
The
be
building
me
that he
for
stood
real.
on was once a
Yeah,
full
chill,
2
bro.
stories off the ground, but was now just a few inches.
Oh
above
no,
the
he just
surface of
enjoy.
water.
Bro, this deadass me. How did he get me on camera?
The
The women again call out to him, this time even more frantically, but at this point, it was no use. And when the camera is taken off Sato for just a split second,
If that was you, I would beat your ass and throw you in the water. No, the fuck you wouldn't. You would deadass catch a wedgie, bro.
we can hear
Hell
just
no.
from the women's reaction the exact moment that he swept away.
What?
The recording stopped shortly after.
Oh my
and restarted
god.
minutes later.
Look, bro, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, bro. I did not get swept away in that water. I swam, I saved a few ABGs on the other side, and I came back to safety. And just let y'all know right now. I am okay. Yes, I'm okay. Alright, don't worry about me too much. Lost all the aura he built. What you mean? Bro got sent back to the lobby?
Had been standing just moments
I
before
guess.
were now fully underwater, and the buildings that once stood around them were now reduced to nothing.
Fuck, man!
In front of them
Holy
was a sunset.
shit!
And had Mitsudo Sato not
Bro,
led them up that
everything
hill,
gone, bro.
then all of these women would have certainly been a part.
Low-key, bro, ain't this what happened in New Orleans or some shit? Except they had crocodiles? Bro, fuck no. Low-key, bro, it would have been survival of the fittest. I would have dead-ass, like, wrestled a alligator and shit. Choked him out a little bit, you know what I mean? Put him in one of these for real, you know what I mean? And then he would have been tapping. He would have been tapping with a little arm and shit, and I would have ate him. Sharknado? Oh, they might do have sharks there. Not gonna lie. I don't know what kind of shit they have in Japan Sea. You need to ready up? Alright, bro. You need to make the water turn... You would make the water turn brown? I guess, Amaran?
Part of
What?
it.
What the fuck? Did NATO?
The date was March 11th, 2011, a day where Japan had been hit by its most devastating earthquake ever, with it ringing in at a magnitude 9.0.
Oh my
which in
fucking
turn caused
God.
the nation's worst ever tsunami, as that day, 19,759 people
Jeez.
would lose their lives, with Mitsudo Sato being one of
Bro, low-key, bro. This is fucking crazy. Not gonna lie. Who showers in the mud pit?
them. But against all odds, his wife and daughter were not part of that death toll, as it's been reported that they were later found alive and unharmed. The devastation that occurred that day is incomprehensible, and all the footage of this disaster could warrant a place in this video, especially the footage of...
Damn, how the fuck shit on
You
fire
can
with
see
the
what it
water?
looked like before, during,
God!
and after.
Oh my god, bro. Like, where do you even start rebuilding?
But what I found so interesting about this was all throughout this disaster were stories like Sato's, a man who risked his life to save 20 women that he hardly knew, and a man who gave his life trying to save his family.
Telling y'all, bro, it was
walking
dead
directly
ass
into
me.
the path of the worst natural disaster.
It was
in
dead ass
modern
me, bro. I saved 20 ABGs, yes, bro. And I survived it. Nobody know about me, though. Nobody know about me, though. RIP him, he died saving others. Yes, I'm good. I didn't die, though. Imagine watching your city drown.
Japanese history, all in an attempt to save the ones that he loved. And I honestly find it quite beautiful that afterwards, these women
W3 watched.
made
Bro, I did not watch this shit before, bro. This is just my life.
sure that the world
I've been trying
forever
to tell you.
remembered Mitsudo Sato as the hero that he was. And of those 160 Chinese
Yeah, bro.
migrants
Actually,
who worked in the
RIP
area,
Sato, though,
it was
man.
later
RIP,
reported
bro.
that not a single one of
Genuine
them
hero.
perished, which speaks volumes about the people of Anagawa, who so readily put others' lives before their own.
React harder?
Fire marshal was investigating a blaze in Georgetown.
Damn, that was just the first one. Holy shit. What y'all think about that shit, bro? Were y'all interested? Were y'all captivated by what happened or not? Saibao? All right.
And so far it's not known how the fire started.
It was just past 5:30 a.m. on the 17th of February 2021 when residents of a small neighborhood in Georgetown, Ontario were woken by the sound of sirens blaring. One man frantically grabbed his cell phone and rushed outside to record the unfolding scene, where he was met with a horrific sight. His neighbor's home was fully engulfed in flames. It must have happened quickly, as by the time rescue workers even arrived on the scene, there was already little hope of saving the house
Oh my
or
fucking
any of its
god.
occupants. It would take hours before that blaze was finally quelled.
Bro, how the fuck this shit burn in the snow? Wouldn't the snow melt and like take down the fire? Am I tripping or not? Captivate my dick in your mouth and react better. I gotta follow you for one mouth to follow or clip my fault. Huh? Oh, month to follow or clip my fault. What? Not how it works. What you mean not how it works? Bro, like, bro, it seemed like it worked.
Revealing
like
the charred devastation inside, as firefighters would find the remains of 56-year-old Christina Rirak and 59-year-old Andrew Rirak within the home's garage.
Oh
The cause of this
God.
fire was initially unknown, but quickly the situation was deemed suspicious when experts determined that the fire had started as a result of some sort of explosion that had happened within the garage where the couple's bodies were found. This was later confirmed by security footage obtained from a neighbor who lived across the street, capturing the moments when
Oh
it
my
suddenly ignited
fucking God!
at 7 a.m. There was clearly
What the
something off
fuck?
with this case, and things only
Bro,
became more
imagine you just like your house just blows up. The snow gets vaporized from the heat. So little snow and big air fire. I want a clip, bro. You want a clip? Yo, like in bro. Imagine you dead ass just like in your house and it blows up. What the fuck? My neighbor garage caught on fire. And what happened to them? Bro, I don't think I ever, like, the closest I ever been to a fire, right? Closest I ever been to a fire was when I was cooking and, like, the oil jumped on me. That was pretty much it. I'd walk it off probably. No, the fuck you would not. Hella cops and firefighters down the street. My granny garage caught on fire. So what his grandma is your grandma is his neighbor or what? How the fuck that happened? No, I don't think anything. Low-key, I don't want to jinx it though, so I don't want to say never or no bullshit. I mean, knock on wood. I do not want to get nothing to catch you on fire, bro. Imagine, bro, fire stream, like this whole shit burning and shit. I'm like, yo, I'm finna spark up the stream. Let me know. Yo, oil jumped on me. Yeah, gang. We did not need that story. My fault. My room is on fire. I'm so hot in this shit, bro. Open a window, bro. Where the fuck you from? Where it's that hot? My dog's garage caught on fire. I can't see your dog got a garage. Play fire, watch a fire game. Oh, play fire, watch. It's a fire game. I don't know why that like actually
Minister following the autopsies of Andrew and Christina.
There's a game called
it
Fire. I didn't even
revealed
know
that they
that.
hadn't actually died in that fire, and instead, both of them had been stabbed to death. with
What
Andrew
the
also
fuck?
brutally beaten. This fire wasn't started to kill them. It was started to cover up their murder. And it did a good job of it too, as the scene was now left completely destroyed, with very little evidence being left behind. But there was something else investigators thought to check. That's security footage. The camera had been facing the garage where all of this carnage seemed to have happened, and so they thought maybe if they looked back far enough, it could at the very least show what had led up to this brutal attack.
Damn.
And so they rewound that footage, going back hours and hours, during all of which the garage had remained perfectly still.
Bro, that man
until
tried
they
to
got
pull
all
a
the way back
Joe
to
Goldberg and
6:42
did
of
not
the day
like him.
prior, February 16th. The film showed the moments that the couple had arrived home together inside of Christina's car, which Andrew had been driving that night, as he pulled uneventfully into the garage.
Oh, I saw that on the
This
right.
was the last time this couple was seen alive on camera, which on its own is disturbing enough. But as it turns out, there was something far more unsettling about this footage, as it revealed the fact that Christina and Andrew weren't alone.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
The footage showed a tall figure, its features completely shrouded in darkness, almost as if it were a shadow, with this figure lying in wait out of sight on the side of the house, until right after Andrew pulls the car into the garage, when this person slips in behind them. It's impossible to say for sure if the couple noticed this person or not, but it appears that they likely didn't, as they both start to exit the vehicle, to which the figure then ducks down in an attempt to avoid detection. Until the garage door begins to slowly close. Either Christina or Andrew would make it out of that garage alive, as just seconds after this footage, they both would be brutally murdered by this unidentified person.
Holy
The
shit.
footage is terrifying and speaks to that innate fear in most of us, the fear of being followed, of being watched, and attacked in the moments where we least expect it. It's paranoia-inducing, and made even more off-putting by the fact that this clearly seemed to be premeditated. Whoever this was knew their schedule and had been waiting for them to arrive home, in a place where they knew they wouldn't be
Dead
seen.
ass. Imagine, bro. Imagine. Like, you gotta know when the fuck they gonna get home. Plan how you gonna, like, actually, like, you know what I mean? Despawn them. Then fucking set the whole house on fire. What the fuck? Fire watch. Imagine Tony sent this vid and all along it's a jump scare. Low key, that shit would be funny, not gonna lie. Thought about it. I don't got a limit for the trip. Unidentified? Holy hell, you cannot spell, bro. Oh, you put dick. Deified? Unidentified? Oh no, we gonna ball out, Ram. Can't half-ass that shit. Tip review in 4 minutes. Bro, no tips
But
being
by this
revealed
point, their
yet.
motivation was as unknown as their identity. Following the discovery of this footage, bits and pieces were released to the press in order to get the public's help in identifying this unknown assailant. It represented a rare instance of a killer being clearly caught on camera right before committing a crime, but that's also what made this case so frustrating, as despite the video capturing this person, none of their features were discernible at all. Unsurprisingly, the footage didn't bring in any relevant leads, but it at the very least showed investigators that whoever this person was knew the couple, due to its obvious premeditation. Though when looking into both Andrew and Christina, it was clear that neither of them really had any enemies in their life, with the exception of one. Harrison Brown was a 27-year-old employee at a company called Rogue Transportations, of which Christina happened to be the vice president
Harrison
of operations. And during his time there, Harrison was known to be abrasive and combative, with Christina often having to be the one to reprimand him, leading to Harrison resenting her. It isn't clear how police were tipped off about this strained working relationship, but they had somehow grown suspicious enough of Harrison to pay his home a visit, and what they found inside showed that this resentment he had towards Christina had actually morphed into a twisted obsession.
Oh my god.
Inside, police found satellite images of the Rerac's home, along with the software on the man's computer and cell phone that showed that on the 12th of February, he had secretly attached a tracking device to Christina's car, and he had been tracking her movements for days, which is precisely how he knew when she would be arriving home. And as if this revelation wasn't damning enough, they would also find a broken knife in his garage that contained trace amounts of Christina's blood. It was obvious what Harrison had done, and when confronted with this evidence, there was nothing more he could say other than the truth. So he admitted he had grown a hatred for Christina because of the way that she had treated him at work, and he decided that he needed to get his revenge. That's when he purchased this tracking device and began obsessing over her movements, studying them before finding the perfect time and place to strike. And on February 16th, he waited outside the Rerac's home and snuck into their garage before attacking and killing them both. After the assault, Harrison would leave the home, where he began to grow paranoid about being caught, and so he returned to the house the very next morning to start—
Bro, and it's crazy because, like, this is somebody you'll never expect. You'll just be like, nah, he's just a weirdo at work. Whole time he planning to shank you up and blow up your house, bro. Spawn camping, bro. Dead ass spawn camping, bro. That's the lowest of the low. Fuck no. He dead ass hid in a bush, waited till it was like top 3 left. You know what I mean? Took out the last duo. Low, actually very coward move. You know what I mean? Didn't even really get like the actual 1v1 for real.
start that fire, with the hopes being that the blaze would cover up his tracks.
Nobody said
Though
this
thankfully,
shit.
this didn't work.
Nobody
And
said
after
this
pleading
shit
guilty
should
to
be
2
lucky.
counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of arson, Harrison Brown would be sentenced to life in prison.
Paul 20, on to you, roll over TC. I've got an unresponsive team. I gotta mail the car, refuse to get out.
It's the eve of Thanksgiving, 2015. Police officer Patrick Feaster sits in his cruiser parked alongside the road in the town
Bro,
of Paradise,
what the
California,
fuck? Holy double.
waiting for his first action of this uncharacteristically quiet night. His car was facing the direction of a well-known local cantina, which patrons were known to drive away from under the influence. And sure enough, as the
Bro,
car
I don't like
approached
when people
midnight,
pour shots
comments
like that,
around
bro.
Feaster
Like, I see
would be
the
shattered by
alcohol
the
that they
sight
waste
of
on
a car
the
speeding
thing.
out of the
That shit
restaurant's
low-key
parking
pisses me
lot.
off.
The car went unseen by Feaster's dashcam, but not by Feaster himself, as he took off, doing his best to catch up with the car that was now speeding down the road, and within a few seconds, he does. As the car slowly comes into frame for the first time, inside that vehicle was
Oh, no, who that?
26-year-old Andrew Thomas and his ex-wife, 23-year-old Darian
Oh, no,
Aaron.
who that?
Andrew had been drinking heavily that night and was
Oh,
well over the
no, why
limit,
she bad?
deciding showing his
Please
nose
don't
as he
tell
failed
me
to
she
pull
got
over
got,
once
bro.
Feaster
Please
approached
do
him,
not tell me she
resulting
got
in a
got.
police chase that would only end up lasting just a few seconds.
Paul 20, on to you, roll over TC. Pearson, just east of Black Olive.
I gotta wake up at 9. I gotta go to work at 6, dude. I'm such a fucking loser. I'm disappointed in y'all, bro. No fucking way, bro. And then one of you, actually, we got 2 BBGs in the chat. Let's actually kill it. Ram
As Andrew
coming
would
back
drive his car
poor.
directly
Most
into a
definitely.
median,
He got really
causing
bad
the
luck.
SUV to flip over violently before coming to a halt on its side.
Do we know?
In that instant, Darian was ejected from the vehicle, being thrown straight through the windshield and landing onto the asphalt,
No.
where despite still being alive, her injuries were likely unsurvivable. But Andrew, on the other hand, was still inside the vehicle, and he seemed to have been left relatively unharmed. As perhaps being boosted by adrenaline, he quickly tried to crawl his way out of the car in a desperate attempt to check on Darian, with Officer Feaster's dashcam capturing the entire ordeal. Though just as Andrew attempted to do so, we see Feaster step into the frame, where he suddenly draws his gun, and without saying a single word, fires 2 shots at Andrew.
What
More
the
bullets began to
fuck?
strike him, causing his body to go limp as he falls back into the car. It happened in a literal instant, so fast that it's clear Feaster had most likely accidentally discharged his weapon, as there was no attempt at communication before the shot was fired, with Andrew clearly posing no risk to him, as both of his hands were being used to hoist himself up. From the footage, this all seems to be a horrible accident, and one that Feaster seemed to recognize right away, as he rushed up to the car pointing his flashlight at the man that he had just shot, staring at him for over 10 seconds, trying to make sense of what he had just done, before he finally snaps out of it, and uses his radio to call for backup. Though this is when this
What the fuck?
starts to become much more disturbing.
Oh, hold on. So you telling me you see this fucking crazy ass crash happens, right? First thing you do is pull out your gun? Bro, what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck are you pulling out your gun for at all, though? I mean, they already almost, like, barely surviving some fucking crazy ass crash like that. Nah, bro. Hold on. You got some weird shit going on.
I've got an unresponsive female. I got a male in the car, refusing to get out.
When Feaster makes this call, he never mentions the shooting, and instead, he states that the driver was refusing to get out of the vehicle.
Look, I understand that, though, because, like, I understand that. I get that he was running or whatever. But, like, still at the same time, though, fuck, I don't know. That is, damn.
Then followed by Feaster walking away from the man and pointing his flashlight to the ground, almost as if he was looking for something.
Copy. Give you across on Black Olive.
Pearson.
Copy. Black Olive and Pearson.
With some theorizing that he was looking for his shell casings.
That's all I thought.
Though
too.
right then, another officer arrives on the scene and begins to survey the wreckage.
Just her?
No, there's a male in the car, refusing to get out.
Where, again, Feaster says that Andrew was refusing to get out of the car, making no mention of the fact that he had just shot him. It's clear at this point what Feaster was trying to do. He was trying to cover up his accident, but this suddenly became more difficult when Andrew started to speak.
Okay, we got one. He's refusing to get out. Get out of the car, sir. You're not shot, sir. Get out of the car.
You're
Andrew
not
Thomas
shot?
was still alive, and had muttered to Feaster that he had been shot, but even to his face, Feaster denies it. Shortly after, Andrew then tries to tell the other cop what had happened.
Sir, please get out of the car. The car is still on, and I don't want you to get hurt.
Line up.
What do you think you got shot?
Yeah, I was right there. I saw it.
Did you get shot at the cantina? Who shot you? The cop did not shoot you.
But understandably, this other cop wasn't believing him, as surely Feaster would have said something at this point. And so, the minutes start to pass, and after 5 full minutes, Feaster continues processing the scene like nothing had happened, with the other officer being left to theorize that Andrew must have been seriously injured and was likely in a state of shock, which is why he was making all of these strange claims about being shot.
He may be hurt in there. Yeah, I know he is. He's in shock at the very least.
From here, the footage cuts, and we're only left with the audio from that same officer's body cam, as he attempts to get more information from Andrew.
Sir, I need you to talk to me so I know you're okay. Sir, take a look at me.
What the fuck,
You
evil
bump your
bitch?
head.
But by this point,
Bump your head.
he had
Yeah,
gone
bro.
completely silent.
Yeah. Bro, only this crazy going streams.
10
No, I
minutes
don't,
later,
bro. They
the footage
freaking
then
doing
cuts
streams.
back on, this time to another officer's body cam, which shows that an ambulance had now finally arrived on the scene, with medics first directing their attention to Darian, who was in the worst shape, as she would tragically be pronounced dead shortly after. But despite all of these first responders on the scene, none of them had any idea that the man inside that vehicle had just been shot, and shot by one of their colleagues. And in these moments, Andrew was slowly losing his life as each minute passed. It would take 11 full minutes before Feaster finally confessed.
Sir, you hold this scene, Manny, with me. We're going over to the cantina to find out this guy.
Take a shot at him. I wasn't even pointing at him. You gotta go on.
Saying that he might have shot the man, but he wasn't sure. And immediately after saying this,
Oh my.
What the fuck?
the recording is stopped, and the footage comes to an end. Sure enough, in that moment, Officer Patrick Feaster had in fact shot Andrew Thomas, with a bullet striking him directly in the neck. And the reason why he wasn't getting out of his
Oh my
vehicle was because that
God.
gunshot had left him fully paralyzed from the neck down. His condition was awful, and made worse by the length of time that it took for him to receive proper treatment. And despite fighting for weeks, Andrew Thomas would lose his life less than 1 month later, due to that gunshot wound. Afterwards, Feaster admitted that he did fire his gun, but claimed that in the moment he wasn't actually sure if he had hit Andrew. But many found this hard to believe, as his gun clearly goes off while he's pointing it at Andrew, and he clearly gets a good view of him immediately after the fact. Not to mention the fact that Andrew literally told him over and over again that he was shot. But for many, by far the most incriminating moment was when Feaster appeared to be looking for his shell casings. And because of his actions, Officer Patrick Feaster would be found guilty of manslaughter and receive a prison
Holy
sentence of 180 days. A decision that was heavily contested but ultimately upheld. And while no one is defending Andrew Thomas's decision to drink and drive that night, Feaster's use of deadly force and his blatant attempt at covering it up make this footage harrowing nonetheless.
180 days. Bro.
Do this for real, bro. I don't got no problem with giving back, man. I'm the only one out here with a show that's actually giving back, you feel me? And I got proof to show it.
Shot
It's
your
May
mom?
2013. 23-year-old Qaw'mane Wilson arrives at his local bank in Chicago, Illinois, to deposit $20,000 cash, which he planned on giving out to groups of his most adoring fans.
Man, about to go get this $1,000 out for the fans, man. Really, I'm gonna take out 20,000, man. Just to show people, you feel me? I'm on a whole different level with this.
To this point, Qaw'mane had carved out a respectable following on his YouTube channel, where he acted in a series called The Nick Story.
I'm gonna worry out your mouth, and that's your ass, that's your life. I'm gonna take it myself and put it in my graveyard with the rest of them.
Along with posting music he made under the name Young QC.
I thought he was gonna say yes. Me too. I thought he was gonna say. Oh no, he made freak music. Might hit that freak buttons.
And he wasn't shy about showing off the wealth that he claimed to have accrued as a result of it, posting photos and videos of himself flaunting large amounts of cash across his social media pages. But this video was by far his most boastful yet, as he would take that $20,000 and throw it into the air for all of his fans to fight over.
Oh my god. Don't ever expect something like this from me.
With Qaw'mane clearly relishing in the opportunity to show off his riches, despite the fact that behind the scenes, things weren't quite as they seemed. The truth was, Qaw'mane had actually earned very little from his channel despite its viewership, with this being on account of his videos containing copywritten music, and the fact that he only had a dozen or so uploads. In fact, his social media flexing had started well before he even made his first video, as in reality, all of this money was coming straight from his mother, Yolanda Holmes.
What the fuck?
Having started a successful business in Chicago, Yolanda made a great living for herself and Qaw'mane. And being her only son, Qaw'mane was given just about anything he could have asked for. She would buy him designer clothes, jewelry, and even the Mustang seen in this video. But for Qaw'mane, it never seemed to be enough. He wanted to achieve a life of fame and riches, and he used his mother's finances to sell the illusion that he already had, asking her again and again to purchase him things that could help him sell this dream. Until one day, it all came crashing down, when Yolanda would tragically lose her life.
Bro, why do all this, bro? I mean, if my mom was rich like that, I wouldn't even need to be flexing for her. I would just be doing shit. I mean, we got an early lift in the morning. You lucky right, not gonna lie. You lucky right. You up too? What the fuck? Hold on, hold on. You up too, man? What the fuck?
The provider who was funding
Rich
his
Muzz?
entire life.
Mom
This
Muzz?
didn't seem to stop his lavish.
Yo, Tony, bro, what the fuck do you mean, Rich Muzz? You got me. That Wayne's on fire though. No, on God, was it his song or was it like somebody else? Because they did say he had copyright music.
On
He might have put me on.
In fact, his spending only seemed
Bro,
to...
I wish I had rich parents, bro. You know how easy that shit would be? I'll just be like, Mom, can I get 5 bands, bro? I'm gonna do an IRL stream and go get a whole bunch of hoes. Alright? Whole bunch of hoes, I'm gonna gamble it on stream. I mean, that's exactly what I'll do, not gonna lie. Bro, fuck do I look like getting $20,000 out and just throwing it into the crowd of bums? No, G, I'm not giving no money to the BBGs, bro. Fuck them. I was coming to change my name and I saw you was live. Wait, we still got that early lift? You not going, Tony? You not there, Jit, I think. Fuck, bro, I forgot. You not, that's not you, bro. You not there.
As this footage of him giving away money to fans actually took place after the death of his mother, which became extremely off-putting for law enforcement, as Yolanda hadn't simply passed away, and instead, she had been brutally murdered.
What the fuck?
Qaw'mane had learned something shortly before Yolanda's passing, that not only were his mother's savings entirely ruined to him, but she had also taken out 2 life insurance policies, in which he was the sole beneficiary. And despite Yolanda giving him anything that he could have asked for, it seemed that by this point, Qaw'mane had simply grown tired of having to ask. And so, on September 2nd, 2012, he would offer his friend Eugene Spencer $3,500 to kill his own mother. Eugene accepted the offer.
Bro, nigga did that shit for $3,500 to take a life? Fuck no, bro. Fuck no, bro. And his own mom? Bro, what? Why, bro? Bro, why the fuck are people blessed with good parents, bro? Why are people like this blessed with good parents, genuinely? I mean, low-key, my parents are good, but like, okay, he got rich parents, though. Okay, that's the difference. He got why was he blessed with the rich parents, bro? When the fuck my mom gonna be like, yo, we actually rich, actually? I'm still waiting on that, never lie. Y'all think this gonna happen? Like, I'm gonna get surprised. I'm gonna get a surprise, like, yo, we rich. On God, it was the reason he had everything, bro. She was the reason he had everything that he had on God's Twin. They keep pranking us. Yes, bro, they keep pranking me, bro. I'm dead ass still, like, waiting on them to be like, yo, we rich. I mean, I think I passed the test by now, bro.
And that night, he would travel to the apartment of Yolanda.
Like, I feel like they just doing it so I won't end up like, you know what I mean, like this weird nigga. You know what I mean? Like, they just doing that shit so I won't end up like him. But like, I feel like I already proved myself. Like, I'm not like that, bro. All right, so like, can the prank be over now? Can the prank be over now?
And shot her multiple times as she slept.
Oh my
time,
God, bro!
Was sleeping next to her, and despite jumping up and doing his best to fight off the attacker, Eugene would eventually beat him unconscious before fleeing the scene. Eugene would call Qaw'mane immediately after the attack to tell him that the job was done.
Multi-million-dollar company? Tell me, man. Okay, that one's not gonna happen. Woo don't lift. You come back just to say woo don't lift. Bro, you know how long ago that fucking message was sent? Fuck wrong with you?
But rather than feeling any sort of guilt, Qaw'mane instead had no emotion. And he
what the fuck?
make sure the bitch is dead. And so,
Bro!
he went back up to that unit, this time brandishing a knife, and repeatedly stabbed Yolanda until he was absolutely certain she was gone. And with that, Qaw'mane Holmes was a rich man, and it only cost him the life of his own mother.
What the fuck?
For a
What an
moment, the crime had
ungrateful
worked
bastard.
perfectly. The police were left with no concrete leads as to who might have killed Yolanda, and the public largely believed that it was her boyfriend, whom Eugene had knocked unconscious. But no one even thought to look at Qaw'mane. And recognizing that he was in the clear, his behavior grew brazen
Fucking
almost
fat
immediately.
nose bitch.
Qaw'mane
bro.
Wilson lost his mother to gun violence on November 14th.
I hope he get his
She
ass
was
taken
a
in jail.
neighborhood
Not gonna
woman.
lie. I genuinely hope that be
A guy
happening.
into the home.
Hope he taking back shots right now.
and
I actually hope he
murdered
taking
her,
that shit
you
right
know,
now.
Just to steal.
As he went on TV to talk about his mother's murder, where he peddled the theory to the public that this was some sort of botched robbery, all
I'm
the while
hoping
he
worse.
showed no emotion.
What's worse than getting your butt taken? Hold on, man. Hold on. A lot? Like? To like? What happened? I fell asleep. I ain't giving you the rundown in the whole video, bro. Back the fuck up. We'll bench 125. Hey. Like 1000x that shit, alright? How much slime amount?
He wouldn't even wait a full week
Hold
before
on.
depositing.
Can somebody actually let me answer that question though? Or at least Ram. What's actually worse than getting your butt taken, genuinely? Let me know, bro, because I feel like that's the worst of the worst. Bro, a lot. What the fuck does that mean, bro? What? Give me one example of something worse. Because you just look real AO right now, Ram. Hold on, lock in. Woo, is it really bad if you like it? Take someone like Woo, for example. You like it, bro, Cha-Cha. Alright, bro. How you gonna ask me that question and then put me as the example? Why are you mad? I mean, you just look cute to take it.
Depositing the money, as he took out $90,000 within just the first few days, and immediately began showing it off to his followers. And in this footage, where he gave away that $20,000, throwing it into the air as if it meant nothing to him, every cent of that had come from the death of his own mother, a death in which he was entirely responsible for. It would take over a full year for Qaw'mane and Eugene to be caught, with police largely being tipped off by his online antics. And in the end, Eugene was given a 100-year
Holy fuck!
while Qaw'mane received 99 years. With his legacy now...
Bro, what like makes the difference between 1 year? Like, what the fuck is like, yo, give him 100 and give him 99? Yes? Fuck no, they should have gave him 100 life sentences. Fuck you mean 100 years? Dude. Hell no. Why is it all black people? No, the fuck it wasn't. The last one was a white fat dude. Yo, Max, bro, like a fucking... You sound retarded. Yo, what's good, BBGs? You not even BBG. Bro, you gotta switch up on him, bro. Don't even acknowledge him. My bad, it ain't gonna matter. Bro, fuck no. They dead ass need like multiple life sentences stacked on top of each other, bro. And then after that, then he like spend like eternity in damnation and burn forever. Preach for the follow, switch up. Preach. BBG's on top, fuck you mean? On top of what? Bro, y'all outside the club, alright? Yes, we left the day ones, the BBGs, after we subbed. Yes, bro, we leave we switch up on all our day ones, bro.
Permanently defined by his
We will
creation
prevail? Hell no.
of one of YouTube's darkest videos.
Bro, this shit was genuinely evil, bro. The last one was genuinely evil. Holy hell. That was actually a good ass video, I'm not gonna lie. That one was genuinely some evil shit.